He spotted in the.
That's what I'm saying. Gone wrong. All of that added. Title, thumbnail, everything
Gone wrong,
demonetized.
gone sexual.
Like,
I think it's also due to the fact that you don't have to deal with that bullshit with me and Sean. It's just because we're quiet. Like that's your problem with us. We're way too quiet. We just don't say shit. The problem you have
And also,
with Connor,
unlike Connor, I can tell when I
the
tone's
limits.
off.
I'll be back in a second, guys. Hold up, 1 second.
Because I heard you say safe like asking Adam if he was alright, bro. Because like we could both tell that he was
Yeah, no, 100%. I knew that guy
carrying
was
a
off.
voice support.
Like I know Adam, he's off. But sometimes, well, it's obvious. Like he's not like trying, like he's not trying his best to hide it. You can tell when a person is off. Like no matter who he is.
When Adam, like when he's off, bro, he when he speaks, he sounds dead inside, and he then doesn't speak. He
Like one
doesn't
of the
crack
worst
jokes. He
things.
just
One of the worst things you could ever like experience, especially like with Connor, when you're speaking about something that you're passionate about, and this nigga comes in and says, "Shut the fuck up." I will like use the fists
I
that
will take
Allah has given me.
on your chest,
I
bro.
will use the
You like tell me, if you tell me to shut up, bro, when I'm like talking about Smite or some shit, like I will actually shit on your say, I'll shit on your family. Maybe not your family, but I'll shit on your chest 100%.
To be fair, I used to be very harsh with the guy, but then Adam talked some like big boy sense into me. He just told me, "Hey, bro, look, the guy, yeah, sure, he can be annoying at times, but he's not dumb. Don't like take advantage of him. Don't take it for granted. He's a good guy, blah blah blah." And all these things are realizing in him. You know what I mean? Like he did speak some good sense into me. But one thing that I did not have spoken into me is how to like use my fists because I would whoop his ass. Bro, he's so annoying sometimes. And, like, I swear to God.
Basically, the reason I have not a very high tolerance to people that are younger than me is because, like, bro, it won't be very long now until I'm 20, bro. I'm too old to deal with this bullshit, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I'm too old to deal with people's bullshit. Just, you know what I mean? Especially if you're like 15 and like chatting. And if it's like getting to me enough that I'm annoyed, bro, like, there's just no point in me being there. Like, cause that's how I noticed. Like, I noticed when I was like playing Rust that I was just getting annoyed, and I was like, bro, what's the point of me being on the game if I'm getting annoyed at it? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
same with you. That's the same way I look at it with people. If I get annoyed at those people, then why am I there?
Exactly. I don't, with the people I do not like, I don't associate myself with. I just like,
Yeah.
I don't associate myself with because I know it will just
Oh,
end
bro,
in nothing
like,
positive.
recently, I say recently, today, I just blocked someone that I was friends with because, well, he's a pedophile.
Ooh,
Well, his name's
ooh,
David. I say
David.
pedophile. He's not convicted. He's not done anything, but he definitely is.
Elaborate, what has he done?
Do you know what age play is?
No, oh, he lied about his age?
Yeah, no. He's not lied, but they like pretend that they're a different age when they're doing the nasty, and I don't like that, bro. He
Wait,
has a
so,
boyfriend.
wait, wait,
That's
wait, 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 wait. So you're telling me he was doing the nasty with someone and he lied about his age?
no. He like role play. Like they both know each other's age, but
Mm,
one
okay.
role play is like a 5-year-old, basically.
Oh no, no, nope, nope, nope.
Yep.
That's where I draw the line. That is where I say no.
Not to
This is what
mention,
I
he
did
did
not.
try to get with someone that was like 2 years younger than him. He was
No,
15 and they were
stop.
like
No,
fucking
no,
13.
no, I'm not
Like,
talking about no.
so yeah, so basically, and not to mention he's got autism.
Ah,
He's just weird in
always the
general.
author.
Like, he did this one thing. I was trying to have like an important, like, I was gonna go have an important conversation with one of my friends. But, my
Okay.
friend changed his name on Instagram, and I thought he was still on the same name. So David, and this was one of David's alt accounts. I don't know why he did this because he makes like alt accounts to try and talk to me. I don't know why. And he did it, and like, I thought it was my friend because it was my friend's name, but my friend had changed his name, and And I thought he just like changed his profile or something and deleted the chat. So I was like, okay, that's strange. But then, yeah, I fucking like clicked on the thing. I had a whole last conversation. Then I was like, this guy's typing a little bit weird. And then I was like, oh shit, well, fucking. And then he just said something that set me off, and I was like, yeah, that's David. Then I just got pissed. Like, I just blew up at him basically, and I was like, nah, fuck you. But, I thought I could like, set him straight a little bit, stop him from like doing
Yeah.
all this bullshit. But nah. But bro, if you were gone, if you a bad cause, bro, you a bad cause. Because I was actually having like an important conversation as well. It wasn't like I haven't talked to this guy in fucking like a week because my PlayStation, my account has been done, and I managed to like talk to him again, and I was like, well, fuck, you know what I mean? Like, man, fuck David. David's a bit asshole.
David sounds like an entire op. I'll whoop his ass.
But it's not even that. I don't want to whoop his ass because he's like got autism and shit. I really don't want
he's
to.
autistic.
Yeah, I don't want to be responsible. I don't want to be like the guy known for beating up an autistic guy.
Yeah.
But then again, being known as the guy to beat up a
Wait,
pedophile was
there's a book in front of me called The Rules of Love. Okay. I bought it to try to look like intellectual in front of women at the beach when I went for summer. But I actually got to reading it, and this shit is deep, bro. Like this what okay, here, the rules of friendship. There are no rules. I've got this friend, a very dear friend indeed, but he has one trait that used to irritate me hugely. He's utterly unreliable. He turns up late or not at all, and then suddenly he'll arrive out of the blue and he says he's coming for a night and stops an hour. Or says he's only got an hour then stays a week. This suits his lifestyle perfectly. He lives in a camper van and travels at whim. But it doesn't always suit mine. A few years back, he did something for huh? A few years back, he did something or other. I forget what that just wound me up. Okay. I wasn't in the mood that day to have him cancel at the last minute or whatever it was. I started thinking that maybe it was time I just got him out of my life, not rudely, but just stop making the effort. I said as much to my wife. She responded by asking me what it was that I liked about him, why I'd chosen to have him as a close friend for so long. I replied that it was the fact that he was wild and free and lived in the moment. He represented all the things I fantasized about being, but couldn't because they weren't incompatible basically with a life of family and responsibility. I wanted the life I'd got, but that didn't stop me dreaming about the alternative. My wife then asked me how on earth I expected someone wild and free and always living in the moment to be okay, whatever the fuck that word is. About booking. I got cross with her for a bit, but it made me feel better. But of course, she was right. I was irritated because he was getting away with it, and I couldn't. But then deep down, I don't really want to live this life. I just like to imagine that I could. Damn, your friends are
yeah,
who they are. You have to take them or leave them.
yeah, bro. Yeah,
I
because
also
like,
got a book called The 48 Laws of Power. That's good.
I did tell David like I told him a few times, bro, that I can't deal with him and his bullshit sometimes, and he just never took the hint. I always
Yeah,
said
man.
we're not friends. It wasn't even like a hint. I told him we are not friends.
Okay,
I,
pick a number from 1 to 48.
uh, we'll go with like 43. 43.
43, okay, okay.
Yeah, no, but I told him bluntly, and this was on a live stream as well. I was live streaming with one of my friends at this time, on Rust, and I just told David popped up in my chat, and I told him because he was like, for some reason he has two Twitch accounts, so he just decided to go into my chat as a different Twitch account, like I wouldn't find out, and I told him that when you're not friends. You keep doing this shit and I tell you not to and you continue doing it? What the fuck? You respect your friends, not fucking harass them, bro? I hate him, bro. I actually hate him.
If you hate him, just stay away from him, man. Like it's.
No, I blocked him in every social media I've got him on.
Yeah, that's good.
and I've told him, bro, like, you know what, where I live, bro. If you really want to talk to me, you can try your chances with that, bro. But I'm telling you, it's not happening.
That thing was weird. I don't know how why were you in contact with such man? The
Well,
fuck?
he was friends with one of my friends in high
Ah,
school. So, and I don't talk to that friend now, so there's no reason for me to talk to David. So I'll be real.
name is David. What do you expect?
The only friend David had, like actually had, like just he also couldn't deal with his bullshit, and this was like after years of knowing him. I quit after like a week. Like, shit, man.
So you picked 43, the number 43. So law
Yeah.
43, work on the hearts and minds of others.
Damn.
In the game of power, you're surrounded by people who have absolutely no reason to help you unless it is in their interest to do so. And if you have nothing to offer their self-interest, you're likely to make them hostile. Um, for I cannot. Oh, my eyesight is so bad. For they will see you just one more competitor, one more waster of their time. Those who over that. My God, my eyesight. Why the writing so damn small in this bad? Like, okay, wait. Those that overcome this prevailing coldness are the ones who find the key that unlocks the stranger's heart and mind, seducing him. No, this is a haram book. Astaghfirullah. We do not associate ourselves with the haram.
Bruh, I
So,
fucking
Sean,
yeah.
what are the chances of you ever being interested in Islam?
Uh, the chances, if you want me to put it into a percentage,
Yes,
about like 40%.
that is mad.
I
I
don't
did
get
not
me wrong.
expect that from you.
I believe in you, God, bro. Don't get me wrong. I believe in Allah, but
Okay.
I can't be the one doing like I can't be following all the rules to it. You know, like quite honestly, I don't want
Okay.
restrictions on my life.
Okay, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. Okay. Ask me any question. Sometimes the human brain takes you places, and you start asking yourself some things. Am I right? Now, is there any question about Islam that you do not have answered, like at all, like that question that you just don't, you want to know about?
You can ask us whatever you want, dog.
Oh my God.
I know.
And it's
I,
like,
I know. I would have
Conrad, you
asked
came
if
at the
anything
perfect
like came
time,
up.
bro. I'm about to like, I'm
Educate a
manipulate. I
dear
mean, I'm trying
friend
to
of
educate a
ours.
dear friend about Arya, huh?
huh?
Silence.
Nothing came up, bro. Because like, I actually, fun fact, I took religious studies in high school, and therefore I learned a lot about Islam and
I
just
have
stuff like
this
that.
slight fear though that you didn't actually learn true information.
I
Yeah.
might
Like
have not.
I'm not the type to go
It
around
seems like the
screaming
conversation I should not be in.
because you're
Okay,
scared
I'm
or
going
what?
Definitely.
No, I'm just it kinda I don't know, I just don't like
See, this
I,
is Allah putting fear in your soul because you're doing something wrong, you know?
Exactly.
You
dear
are.
God.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I'm I'm
I'm
just
not
gonna
the
play Slick Gate.
go for it. I'm not the type of person to run around and say, "Oh, the government's lying to you. Oh, you're being taught the wrong
Oh
things. The
my
education
God,
system, bro."
that thing is my dad.
Oh, my mom, bro. Like they say, like, "Yo, it's raining
Bro,
today." It's a
no,
lie. It's a lie. It's not rain. It's not
no,
rain. It's
my
rain.
internet shut down and my dad thought it was the Russians.
Oh God. You know that has some PTSD. Anyways, as I was saying. So I'm not the type of person to run around and say this shit, but I have seen that it actually does happen. Unfortunately, a lot more than it should. And well, it shouldn't happen at all. But you know what I
Adam,
mean.
your Egyptian side just came out.
What?
You said happen, not happen.
No. No.
You said
No.
happen.
No.
Yeah. Yes, yes, you did.
No, your
You said
mama.
happen.
Your
You said
mama.
happen.
Your mama.
You said happen. I'm so
Yes,
proud right now, bro.
no. Anyways, so I feel like you know a lot, but I don't know if you really do know a lot. So even if
I
there,
definitely do not know a lot. There's definitely a lot of things that I just, but I do know some. You know,
like,
but that's
So,
I couldn't tell you, but I know some.
Sean, look, okay. You say that, like, you're actually into, because Adam, I asked Sean a big question, a big boy question, okay? I asked him, Sean, what are the chances of you actually, like,
Yeah, go
being
ahead.
interested in Islam and being a Muslim? He said 40%. 40%. That is
It's
a
a big
big
number.
percentage.
I'm 100%
Well,
interested in
but then
following what is true. And to
Now,
me, that
Sean,
is
and now
Jannah.
Sean said I would be more interested, but I would just prefer living like a free bird and not having
Ah,
restrictions on my
this,
life.
yeah, see,
But now
this.
let me tell
May
you
I?
something, Sean.
May I?
The things that are restricted in this religion is for your own sake.
No, that's not the argument you use here. It's true, but that's
Okay,
not the
what do you want
argument
me
you
to
use
use?
here.
Ah, okay, what's
What
that?
is restricted in our religion,
It's
90% of it is restricted in every
restricted in
religion.
us, yeah, everything. Sex before marriage, restricted in Christianity,
that's
in
why I
Jew,
don't.
in
That's why I don't follow any religion.
Even in,
Like,
even
So based.
it's not. It's not.
It's very based,
No,
in
it's
my
not.
opinion.
Okay, in
no,
your opinion, sure, maybe. Your opinion is your opinion. Anyways,
incorrect. Oh, not okay.
Call me black the way it doesn't matter.
okay. So it's first
But
off,
that's a
as
very
I
good
said,
question.
the fact that we're not some. I don't know why people like. I don't know. I don't think anybody is further away from the religion than Christians. I don't
Yep.
know why it seems like they've literally forgotten everything. Like, oh, Muslims, y'all can't. You can't do that in
And this is
Christianity
the thing
either.
that, and this is the thing I have to mention. Most Christians really forget about this stuff because they are being lied to in church. They're
Yes, dude. For example, the fact that I
out
don't know if you've noticed in like
believing
church and
themselves.
stuff, people like people like have to kiss the hands and feet of priests. Nowhere in Christianity does it say you have to do that at all. That is, if
Exactly.
anything, that's them committing a sin. That's the,
A
who are
priest,
you for them to be kissing your goddamn toes?
a priest is someone that is basically
A
that studied
liar.
the religion. Oh my God, a priest is basically someone that studied the religion and are supposed to be spreading a good word about the religion and trying to like, educate the young ones, and they are not ones to be worshipped.
Who is them goddamn priests? Word.
Always the
I know,
Scots,
bro.
Scottish people.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, to be fair, with the stories I've told. But yeah, I mean, like,
I'll
The
just play stick
stories
fakes.
you've told or the stories you've been told?
I bet both.
Both.
Um,
Oh my god, they're so sweaty on Splitgate, bro.
I also feel like I don't
Astaghfirullah.
like, how do I say this? I both understand that people think Islam is very limiting, but I also feel like I don't know why I never feel limited. And I think it's because although some things, yes, like we're not allowed to do, for example, drink alcohol, stuff like that. But first off, this is just a little side note. Most of the things that are
Adam,
haram
question.
now, we actually get to do in the afterlife, just in case, like, you didn't know that, or whatever. For example, it's haram for men to wear gold, but in the afterlife, everybody has like these really cool gold like bracelets or something like that. In the afterlife, there is a river of wine, and wine is alcohol. It's a type of
Yeah.
alcohol. Like, there are a lot of the things that
Oh, you
are
got it.
a lot of the things that are like we're not allowed to do now, we end up being able to do once we've reached the afterlife. And I think one of the biggest selling points for me is that in Christianity and 90% of other religions, right? If you go to hell, you're hell. That's it, for all of eternity. In Islam, you only stay in hell for as long until you pay your price. Now, guaranteed, this could be eons, right? So it will basically feel like forever. But at the after all those eons or however long you need to pay, you go to Jannah. In Islam, if I go to heaven, inshallah, and astaghfirullah, God forbid,
Fuck's sake.
Safe goes to hell, I can ask Allah to bring Safe to heaven with us, with me, whatever, and it will be granted. There's a lot of like a lot of, for example, the people that are like if you compare Christian religious people to Muslim religious people, the Christians are so like they are so much more strict and like stuck up almost, and like whereas with our they're living life like they're perfectly fine, they're this, they're that, the way. For example, another little fun fact in Islam, in Christianity, for example, it said that you should turn the other cheek no matter what, even if you die. If when someone kills you, just die and turn the other cheek. Let it all up to God. In Islam, I'm not sure the exact details, but I think it's something along the lines of if somebody kills your father, you are allowed to go to court and demand that either the murderer or the murderer's father gets killed.
It's tick for tack, basically.
Yeah,
An eye for an eye.
there's a lot of stuff like, but of course it is still encouraged to never fucking like don't just start murdering people because like
Don't start beef, bro.
don't start hating people because they did something to you. Peace is still like extremely valued in our religion. Nowhere does it say anything about. Sorry, not only does it not say to disrespect other religions and stuff, it's specifically haram. It's bad to disrespect other religions and other things like that.
Has he took the shahada? Has he took the shahada?
Of course. No, he didn't yet.
Are y'all still on the topic or y'all changed?
No, we still on the topic.
Okay, well, so where y'all at right now? I want to hear this.
As he took the what is the I'm
The
gonna
shahada
Google
is
this stuff. I need some earth lore, bro.
The shahada is the thing you say and then you become a Muslim after you say it.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
telling him how in certain aspects, sure, Islam may be more restricting than other religions, but in a lot of aspects, it's also very freeing. As in,
Yep.
like for example, Islam, I can't remember the exact details, but it's something like if somebody kills your father, you can go to court and either you can demand that the murderer is killed or that the murderer's father is killed. One of the two. It's like an eye for an eye type thing. It's not encouraged to. Peace is always encouraged, but you can do that. You can. There's a lot of things that obviously there'll be extremists in both scenarios, but I found that the serious Muslims compared to the serious of any other thing, the Muslims are actually so much more open and peaceful than the
You
rest.
must, Justin.
Like if you've ever met a serious Christian, oh my,
Yeah.
you can't breathe around them. But this like I don't know, to me it's just so much more yahoo.
Relaxing, at peace of mind, they're calm. You know what I mean? Like, they're not, like, when you do something, they're not like, oh, haram, you're going to hell. They speak
Yeah.
to you. They're not like the Christians. They're not like, okay, astaghfirullah, I should not be
Serious
comparing
Christian, oh my.
Christians are also like, there's also
Yeah,
a religion.
In
Like, and
Islam,
respect.
Christians and Jews are actually they're the two that it's up to Allah whether they go to heaven or hell or not. We don't,
Because they are
because they
books
are
written by Allah.
Yeah,
They
in
have
our
books,
religion, the
Bible.
Bible, the Torah are written by Allah. Those are also our books. It's just that in Islam, it doesn't stop at Christianity. The Quran came afterwards, and that's where
Yeah.
that's our belief is that after it was the
Right
Torah, then
testimony,
the
basically.
Bible, then the Quran.
Yeah.
So we are.
Now,
That's why Jewish and Muslims and Christians in most things are very, very similar.
Yeah, I get it.
Oh man, I'm trying to get
Uh-oh.
to this. How do I? Oh, this is annoying. How do I like go to it? Okay, so apparently I am streaming. It just didn't show that I was. Man, what the hell? Until. Anyways, you may take over again.
Yeah, who was it was speaking before? Yeah. Oh, yes, that was the one. But he's like gone now.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically,
You
I
wanted to ask
just
something. I'm very sorry.
I don't even remember what I was gonna say. Is prayer like is it a must, or is it?
This is where I feared, yet not feared. Yes, in Islam there are the five daily prayers that are a must.
Yes.
There are
Yes.
extra parts of the prayer
Still gas in the airport for
that
me.
are
Okay.
not compulsory, but there are five prayers that are a must in Islam. Now, first things first, me and Saif are not scholars, and there's a lot of answers we don't have. For example, one question I myself have is there's a lot of things in Islam that say, oh, if you recite this 10 times a day or just 100 times in your whole life, whatever, um there like guarantee like Allah will for example there's some that it's basically a thing you recite. If you recite I think 3 or 5 times or whatever, like every prayer or every day something, the hellfire itself will ask Allah to, yes, technically the hellfire is like sentient in a way, whatever. In Islam,
Yeah.
if Allah wills it, anything happens. So like a
Yeah.
mountain could speak if Allah willed it. So the hellfire asks Allah, like, "Oh Allah, protect him from the hellfire." Him being the person who recited that. So then what I'm saying is, okay, so if I'm just a horrible human being and I do a bajillion sins, but I say this like
I don't have more.
verse 3 times, I just get a free pass? Or is it?
Guessing not. I guess it will be like up to Allah to judge. You know,
Of course,
because
but then it's also like, what if it's okay? The hellfire can ask and plead for Allah to let you in, but Allah is the one who decides. So with things like that, that's the answer I would come to.
I
But
don't
there
want to
are,
give it to you. I don't want to give you anything because I don't see them again.
okay,
Go.
there are
Give
some
them back to
things
me.
that don't say like
Take it out.
oh
Take it out,
like
man.
Allah, like this will ask Allah. No, there are some, I don't remember them by heart now, but there are some like verses and stuff that say, if you do this, your place in Jannah, which is how we say like heaven, Jannah, you have Jannah and Jahannam, your place in Jannah, heaven, is secured. So again, is it like, okay, your place is
but then
secured,
if
but you'll,
isn't your place always secured? Like, wouldn't you be able to still get into heaven? Like, isn't that a
yeah, but
there's
what I'm
always a
saying is
spot in
like
heaven for you?
your first off, that's one way of interpreting it. Then you have the, okay, it's
Ah.
secured as in like it's secured because you can say, yeah, there is a place in heaven for you, but you didn't make it because you sinned. Or is it to be interpreted as, oh, you said this, it's okay, you'll be forgiven, you get to go in like instantly? It's all, there's a lot of things in every religion realistically that aren't answered, but I think I prefer the way Muslim people in the way Islam answers those unanswered questions the most. For example, in Christian, I'm using Christianity because it's the most example one, most famous one. As you can see, what happened when we left them to their own devices? You have priests again, priests doing. I said like there is nowhere does it say you have to kiss the priest's goddamn toes and feet and hands and give them gold and give.
But
You
they
don't
just horny like bastards, bro.
you don't have to do any of that, yet they do because I don't know, they're wrong. Whereas in Islam, realistically, all we do is if you're not sure about something, try your best to avoid it and have faith in Allah.
Yeah.
We don't know if Allah decided to not forgive you for something you thought was minor. That's Allah's decision. You could do the most abhorrent things that a million people will tell you will never be forgiven. Yet Allah, at the technically less than a drop of like at a blink, will forgive you. There's the way Islam answers any unanswered question is just trust Allah. Trust Allah and do. We cannot speak for Allah. We cannot assume for Allah, but we can at least have faith and try to do what would be the most peaceful, and we try and answer the questions by what would please Allah the most based on other parts of our religion.
Yeah.
Whereas
Um.
in other things, you have people getting touched up by priests because the priest says you need to be cleared of your sins. Like,
Yeah.
what? What?
One thing also I do have to mention is that k- nowadays, sadly, Christianity is becoming more of a business than it is becoming a religion.
Yeah.
What I mean, in Islam, nowhere do you have to pay a sheikh to do this or
Bro,
something.
tell him about the Quran
And
is so
even if you
stupid.
try, tell him, like, literally, try to give him money, and he will rather stab himself than accept that money.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think, Sean, if you're ever at a restaurant with like me and Safe, run for your life by the time the bill shows up. Because one of
But
two things is happening. Me and Safe will kill each other over trying to pay the bill, or you will try to pay the bill and we'll kill you and then each other over trying to pay the bill. That's the
bro, I'll
only
leave
two
it to you.
outcomes.
I'll leave it to you, bro.
There is no other outcome.
I'm pretty.
In Scotland,
I like my life.
well, no, in Scotland, like, if you're there and let's say
Oh,
you
this
are
one's
out
on
with
me. Oh,
Olivia and
thanks.
Ben,
The next one's on me. Here, this one's the only thing
yeah.
on you is Glock because you're trying to pay.
Now, also, Sean, I do. Let me explain to you something. Christianity, right? This is like the perfect example. They completely, because there's Jesus and then there's God. God being Allah, Jesus being the
Yes.
prophet of Allah. Okay. Now, they think God is Jesus, and
Yeah, I
They
don't
when
they
think that.
worship they don't worship
and
one Lord. They worship three, the Holy Trinity, the Spirit, the Father, and the Son. The Son being also
yeah.
that Jesus is explicitly
Now
referred to as
tell
the Son
me,
of God.
now tell me why a person that was once a baby that came out of a woman's vagina is being worshipped as he created the seas, the mountains, and this and that, even though nowhere in the Bible does it say that he did any of these things, yet they believe he did.
Yeah, that's the thing. We can't actually fault Christianity because Christianity doesn't say any of that stuff. But again, I don't know why when left to their devices, they've made their own religion. If you read the Bible and then go look at what Christians are doing, I promise you it's two different religions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In the Bible, it says there's no like premarital, that's what's it called?
Premarital
Premarital
is
sex?
before marriage.
Yeah. Yeah. Premarital sex is not permitted in Christianity. Now, you have Christians going out here beefing Muslims. Oh, our religion is a lot more freeing. Yet, it's written by the exact same person, exact same God, okay, which is Allah. And I'm sure Allah did not change his mind about the stuff he once restricted. In the Torah, it's written premarital sex is not allowed, eating pork is not allowed, this and that. It's all written.